What's up, Mr. Syke?
What's going on?
Good.
How are you? How's your Tuesday morning?
Very well. Thank you, sir. Welcome back to Talking Bears, episode 185. We had a...
You got it right.
I know, finally. 2002. Sorry. That was stupid. I don't know. Little jittery this morning. We had a Maddie-induced snafu last week. Something I've never done with recording before, where it just completely biffed the video.
So we didn't want to put it out with just one camera.
Yeah, my video is good.
Actually, probably would have done better if we're being completely honest. I could have just put a still shot of anything up on this
I thought
side.
it would have been kind of funny if you would have done a still shot of you. We missed an opportunity there. Yeah. Or like the still shot of you were different every time. You put your face on different bodies. In any case,
that would have been more work than the actual editing of the podcast. But
if you're not in it to win it. But we love Jim Jeffries. We had a lot to say about that episode, and I hate that we didn't put it out. I'm sure you guys were pretty bummed.
Jim Jeffries will live. It's a great comedian, though.
He'll go on.
So what we were 185.
185. Yeah. Ryan Sickler.
He's awesome.
Great episode. Yeah.
Anytime I hear his laugh, I just get like, oh, okay, I'm gonna like this.
Yes.
Or it makes you almost want to have a drink. So I don't know, it triggers a drink in me. Like just hearing people laugh like really loud and stuff like that, it just makes me want to like, oh, I want to get a drink and join this.
Yeah.
Thing. What does that say about me that I need a drink to laugh?
We'll delve into that later. We don't have the time.
Oops. Did I just admit something?
I love it.
I guess I should go to therapy.
He seems really on the same wavelength as Tom. They're similar ages. I'm sure have run in the same circles for a long time. And they were playing off each other so well in this episode.
Yeah. He was just on the Bertcast talking about stories. He was in the hospital. He was going in for like a 3-hour outpatient procedure and ended up there for a month on his back.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah. And like I guess he's got some blood thing with clotting in his leg. So he's telling the nurse, make sure I don't clot. Make sure I don't clot. I guess he clotted. That's why he was there for. So it was if you get any anxiety talking about like health and hospital stays and stuff, don't listen to that episode.
No. And things
it was
can
good
go
though.
So wrong. It's so terrifying.
How did they start the show?
They
today?
Started right off the bat. LA sex parties.
Yes.
People that want to be ensconced in latex and have all the air sucked out. STDs. It was great.
And pooed in their mouth. I get that there's so many different fetishes and people are burdened with these things that they need in their head. Totally get it. But man, that one is unhealthy, to say the least.
I do think that you could get sick.
Yeah, right?
Can I say I have a fetish. I have a pretty...
Oh, I thought you were going to go down the road of you have a fetish of getting dookied in the mouth.
I'm really glad that we're talking about this, Mr. Syke, because I've struggled for 15 years to address this with you, but there's something that I need. I think on the podcast is the time for me to...
I'd do it.
Bring it to your attention.
Totally do it. All right. What were you saying now? Sorry.
I won't go too far into it, but I feel pretty fortunate that I have a fetish that's relatively attainable. Like I can... you're chubby.
You like fat guys?
I like fat guys.
A pretty girl likes fat guys? I think it's relatively attainable. You're correct in that assessment.
No, I mean, it's not.
You could get a chubby guy whenever, wherever you want. Yes, there's plenty of us.
It's not that hard if you have a connection with someone too to be like, hey, you could gain like 15, 20 pounds. Like, you don't need to go to the gym. It's fine. I think that
I gained
is
75.
Go
ahead.
I love you. That is so much easier to bring to someone than to be like, what if I were in latex, unable to move?
With only one hole.
Wait for it, and you hovered. No, that's not all. There's more.
Oh, you want me to put my thing in it? No, that would be too easy. No. Something else goes in that hole.
It's not just face riding. Something out goes in the in.
Yeah, that one's bad. But I don't fault the guy.
No.
I think they said it was a guy that did it.
Things are what they are. I've heard about that before.
That one's tough.
Yeah.
What what sex party that they gave two options of a sex party, like one went to each, or
Yeah.
one was like the eyes
One
wide
was just
shut.
Hearsay on Tom's part.
Well, it was somebody that he was describing a sex
He
party.
didn't admit to being there. Let's just say.
Thank you. The lawyers would have been on us. Yeah. So it was, the one was like the eyes wide shut, like
Suits, observing people.
observing just two people having sex. And we've heard of those parties too.
Yes.
And the other kind of sex party that talked about was just like the straight on like orgy, like people just like, have each other,
like
free for all type thing. And we've been to places like that.
What?
We've been to all kinds of places like that. Not partaking, but we've been to.
We've observed every manner of thing.
What is your preference?
I just like to see people. I'm a people watcher, and a sex party is grade A people watching.
It is, yes.
The things you observe.
So would you rather have the fancy like two pros in front of you, like or would you rather watch like a bunch of people like free for all? I'm the latter.
Yeah.
I'd rather because there's so much more to see there.
Yes.
And a group of people in tuxedos like watching, like we've heard of those before, like they bring out the guy in like chains and act like he's like
he's
this.
got like the minotaur, like he's like a bull but with bull horns, and he's going around.
I don't think that's weird or anything. I just think that if there's only one thing going on and then you got like 12 people around you all watching the same thing, that to me, now those, but I guess what they didn't really explain is those parties usually lead to like a bunch of sex going on anyway.
Oh yeah, I guess I see.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think everybody just watches it and goes, "Whoop, let's go eat shrimp."
That was illuminating.
Yeah. I think like people kind of veer off and
go into like the side rooms and things.
Yeah, and just and like So
we haven't been to. We've heard from friends about the like button-down suit, like you have to hustle to get an invitation.
Those are all
super
New York,
exclusive.
LA. New York. I mean, that's not happening in Omaha. I think it's more of the orgies in Omaha.
You know of. I like them talking about, sorry to cut you off. I like them talking about the kind of resurgence of sex parties. And I have noticed really since COVID, people are like, people you wouldn't expect are talking about sex parties or telling you they went to a sex club or asking questions. I think people got tired of being home and kind of opened their minds to something.
Who did somebody has been asking about that in your life? And
I've had people mention to me that there are multiple sex clubs in our area, or like near us there's like a hotbed of sex parties or people all
somebody you wouldn't
switch
expect
homes. Yeah, I've had people kind of not say it to me casually, but just kind of be like, "So, have you heard?"
Well, now I want to know. It's not, if it's somebody related to me, I'm gonna put a screwdriver in my head.
Oh no.
Okay, it's not that person.
No.
All right, good. Not well. Shoot. Okay, tell me off air.
No, I'll tell you off air.
Okay,
moving along.
All right. Because now I'm really interested in who's saying that. What else did they touch on? Okay, so would you choose for the party? Which one do you prefer?
More the free-for-all orgy type party.
Yeah.
Which I've seen here and there. It's interesting for sure.
By here and there, you mean everywhere?
Everywhere? No. Yeah, it's fascinating. Things you wouldn't expect. We went to a friend's party and just observed what was going on, but where just a completely diverse group of people that you wouldn't have foreseen banging very suddenly ripped off clothes and started banging just in one room.
Like lesbians and this and that. Yeah, it was kind of crazy.
And a doctor, and we were like, oh wow.
I was just talking to him about healthy hearts.
He had some things to say about blood pressure, and now he's rimming somehow. Like you're supposed to say,
I see where his blood is going.
You're supposed to say that on YouTube. Oh, he is healthy.
Yeah. I like those. I like those parties. Do you remember when we went to the one of the sex clubs in Vegas?
Yeah.
And the excuse me, the story that one of your friends was telling us about, like how they thought they were in like kind of like a dark room, you know, having sex or whatever, but it was like one of those rooms where like a lot of people can watch you.
It's like a fishbowl or something where the other people know that they're watching.
Yeah. And then like they turned around and kind of looked into the distance, and they said it was like that movie I Am Legend with all those, when he shines a light on all those zombies and they're all just breathing, looking, staring. And he's got her. He's got his girlfriend
I remember that
over a couch, and then he looks over and I thought that was funny. It's a weird description, but again, those guys, like, it's easy to like make fun or pick fun, like usually, especially when it comes to like sexual stuff, because everybody's so uncomfortable talking about it. So anything that's different or whatever that people like immediately jump on and go, ha ha, look at that guy watching and touching himself and beating up, you know, what a weirdo and stuff like that. But like we just talked about like, oh yeah, we'd love to go to an orgy and watch people, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not that different.
Everyone who's anyone would like to watch other people have sex if they're being honest with themselves, guarantee.
I think so too.
I think it's so healthy for people to find what they want and have an avenue to express it rather than just sit home feeling weird and angry and
making fun of people on the internet and then going off to their weird site that they do, or you know what I mean? And like, my stuff's not weird, but they're weird.
Everything's so much better when people get what they want sexually, in my opinion.
I don't think there'd be wars.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think there'd be violence at all if everyone were getting what they needed.
Actually, there would be a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You know? Do you think any of do you think any of those people that go on those rampages, you know, I won't say the words because you know you get
a well-timed blowjob in there, no shooting.
Nobody's getting out of his car to maul and start, you know what I mean? Yeah, nobody's doing that. If that guy is getting blown like once a week, you'd be like, kill myself, what?
No, thank you.
No, thank you. No, thank you. How's your mom?
We sound like we're being insensitive, but this is a real thing that I feel in the bottom of my heart could help.
You think any of those people that on 9/11 done what they did, if they were getting regular pieces of ass?
They did it because they were expecting the ass in heaven.
Exactly. Yeah, they did it because
they did it literally only for the virgins in heaven.
Yes, ass was so important to them that they're like, I'm gonna just commit the worst, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna do atrocious things.
Yeah. So,
hot take. There you go.
Hot take. Everybody get some ass.
Get some ass. Get out there, people.
Yeah, get out there. Anything left on the parties and stuff like that?
Well, yeah, I was gonna bring up a couple of things. They mentioned kind of not wanting to get into a free-for-all just based on STD fears.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I feel the same way. Like if there's not clear testing and it's not super apparent that everything's above board.
Oh yeah. No, that's when you're getting anybody in that group thing, if you don't like know people and everybody's just doing that's like 1960s stuff. You know? No. I mean, the party we went to, we saw everybody was pretty safe in that, but it would be more coordinated if everybody's like, okay, here's my test. Or, there's something there. Somebody's in it, and I know they have that stuff because you deal with it. It's you know, they have the apps, and you know, you go get tested at places, and then it shows up in the app. But there's got to be some kind of rapid fire one for the future, for these like future generations, where you can just meet a girl
and just pull it up on the app. Like, this is my testing.
Yeah. I don't feel bad. I don't know. I think most guys would agree with me on this. If you've been married for a long time, and like obviously we don't use a condom.
What? Sorry.
It's very thin. Like those guys that like get divorced and stuff like that, and then they have to go back out in the scene, and after like 15 years of not using a condom, and then they have to use one. I was like, I don't think I can do it. It's the main reason we're still together.
Maddie's bugging the crap out of me, but I can't go back out there on the scene.
I can't get back out there wrapping it up. It's just impossible. It's like eating a filet mignon with a balloon on your tongue.
Cut me so deep. Mr. Syke.
No way.
No way, new friend. Both Tom and Ryan had a really visceral, hard no, and I'd love to hear your take on this. Would you have a threesome with me with another guy?
Yeah.
There you go, Mr. Syke.
Yeah.
Well, like a boss.
I think there's again, like I don't know if this is a correct way to think about it, like if the people would agree with me on this, but I think a lot of guys want to do it because being naked around another dude or whatever is that's always been, that's gay. Yeah. Oh, you're gay if you do that. Gay.
What if his balls touch you? That's gay.
Yeah. I've just never, I've gay people in my family. I look at it differently and stuff like that. Like, I don't associate sex with being gay. Does that make sense? You know, like Tom has that, you see it pop up on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels or whatever. He's got that joke a couple specials ago, and he's like, I met an interesting lady, and it was about her just putting a finger up his butt during sex or whatever. And there's some people who'd be like, that's gay. You put something up your butt. That's gay. That's gay. I'm like, again, the physical act and all that kind of stuff is not the gay part. It's loving somebody else of the same.
If you loved a guy, you
would be gay. If you loved a girl, you would be gay. Now, I don't think normal heterosexual guys haven't like an inkling or an aching to have sex with another dude, so it doesn't happen a lot. But if you happen to be like in a situation like you said, a guy girl guy, and something touches or whatever, it doesn't turn you gay. It doesn't mean you're gay. So I don't know. So I don't have that fear, and I think that's the fear that a lot of guys have in that situation is that means I'm gay. I personally don't think so, so I just would never have a problem with it.
Butt stuff, not gay. Accidentally getting touched by another dude, not gay. Hot take. Heard it here first. I mean, people want to do something with their butt. That's fine. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people like that.
I just don't think that. I mean, gay guys give blowjobs too. Right? I mean, does that mean if you get a blowjob, like you're doing a gay act? So like that, it's not
if
just
you have anal sex, is that a gay act?
Exactly. So it's not. It's that's not associated with the sexual act. I hope I'm explaining that correctly.
Oh, you explained it perfectly. Yeah. I could not agree more.
If there was a dude in prison that the only way he could survive was to give it up to another dude, I just don't
for protection.
I don't think that's gay either. I don't know. Call me crazy. But again, even there's nothing, and I'm making it sound like the being gay is a bad part. It's not. I'm just saying that's the fear of the guy. You know, is.
I think it's interesting. You can have a lot of, not woke necessarily, but guys who would think of themselves as open-minded, you know, open to new experiences, and then you just hit a line where they're like, nope, could not, would not, can't be with another dude, can't have another dude's cock like accidentally brush up on my leg, like no. I think that's an interesting line.
What's your I think I know the answer. What's your preferable threesome? Girl guy. Oh really? Nice.
Well,
you should have been like, oh, you know, like girl.
Threesome. That's like nothing at all. I think you mean octet. Moving along a little bit, do you have any embarrassing sports stories from high school?
Other than not being very good.
Other than being trash.
That's pretty embarrassing. No, I played a little bit, like just some sports in high school, just like a little bit, sophomore year maybe. But no, there was really just nothing embarrassing. Like, I don't know. I kind of veered away from sports right when I turned like 16, just because I wanted to work. Because I liked money,
and
you know?
drive.
And I wanted to buy my own car, and I wanted to, you know, so I didn't grow up with a bunch of money or anything like that, where I could just, like, parents would give me a car, like probably like we're gonna give our kids a car. I heard you
grew up on a golf course, Mr. Syke.
I grew up on a golf course.
I heard you had it all.
Did not. So yeah, no, I don't know. I can't think of anything. Did you? I mean, did you have an embarrassing sports?
Other than being bad, as you said, I grew up in such a small rural town where you just did a sport almost because they wouldn't have had enough people if you didn't. It was just like a social thing.
You're a warm body.
I was just a warm body. So I ran hurdles and track just because I sort of had long legs as a youngster. And I remember taking a hurdle down during a meet. I don't know what.
Just one hurdle down?
Just one
hurdle.
Sure?
Are you sure? Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
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 Love it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I had some funny coaches throughout my childhood, but none that did anything like Tom's coaches did.
Yeah.
Making them run these suicides with Pearl Jam on and stuff like that.
That was hilarious.
Yeah. Something I didn't know. I see the Honeydew a lot. Ryan Sickler's podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't know his Patreon one was just interviewing like normal random people, because I've had that idea before. I was like, man, how cool would it be just get a plumber on or somebody with a story, and then just tell like a random person, because everybody's got like a cool story in them that you could get out of them over like 30 minutes, 45 minutes. But I think we might have to subscribe to that and just see what it's like.
I didn't realize it either, and it sounded awesome.
Yeah.
You've said that about like wanting to interview other Two Bears fans like us. Like,
yeah, I would love to do that. I mean, if anybody like comments like and is like I don't want to say a normal person, but somebody that you can obviously say is not like somebody's just trolling, like, yeah, I'll be on, and then they come on and there's like,
just to spout like racism, and you're like, oh no, shut it down.
It's not live, right?
it's not gonna reach anyone.
Yeah. But no, if any other Two Bears fan want to be on here, we have the software to virtually do a podcast. So it'd be cool to talk to other Two Bears fans, and have them chime in on things, because I know we run out of ideas pretty quickly. Maybe.
I mean, I do, but you don't.
Well, I'm saying we to be nice. Although you probably have more notes than me today.
I do have a bunch of notes.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to take a listen to that podcast, the Patreon one.
I know, we need to subscribe to his Patreon. It sounded really cool. I thought of something. Oh man, it's skipping ahead a little bit, but I really want to look up some of the Larry Bird trash talking stories.
See, that's what I was wondering.
So
when they started talking about all that sports, I mean, that is my realm. Everything that they talked about, I knew. There wasn't a story in there that I didn't know, like, because I've seen and obviously it shows up in my algorithm, like when you're Googling, all that stuff. But yeah, Jordan, Barkley, Bird, all those guys. It was just a different era of trash talk. Yeah. It's not like it is today, where like guys don't like sports today. Like guys don't really do anything on the field, but they immediately, because they're so programmed to it, they immediately run to their social media to like run their mouth. Like, I think Kevin Durant. He's a basketball player. He was caught with like multiple social media accounts. Yeah, with social media accounts. So because he would go on, like he would argue with somebody, then he'd go on that other one and get into the chime in and be like, Kevin Durant's the best ever or whatever. So he's very like, when it comes to that, it's like very. I guess that people can get under his skin on social media or whatever. So
it's a lost art though. There's something especially awesome about talking smack in person and then backing it up.
Oh yeah.
Making the shot you say you're gonna make. I mean, that's like Mickey Mantle stuff. Like, pointing to where.
I don't think that was Mickey Mantle.
Oh no, that wasn't Mickey Mantle. That was Babe Ruth. Not a baseball fan particularly.
I'm not. So sorry. Mickey Mantle was great though.
I got there eventually.
Yeah, I don't know if that's on camera or if it's like a urban legend. I think he actually did call his shot, but it was not as.
It was different than the way it was.
It's not as dramatic. I don't think.
Twisted with legend. I think.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean. I've read about that. It wasn't exactly that way.
Yeah. So, back to the high school stuff, when they were talking their high school sports stories, and they were talking about the wrestlers like crapping themselves and stuff like that. Do you have any good X-Lax stories?
No.
Because they're talking about that wrestler.
No, I was a wrestling cheerleader in high school, though, which is made up crap. Did you know that there are wrestling cheerleaders?
I did not know that.
You sit on the ground at the edge of the mat with your legs. I'm not going to show exactly, but like your legs to the side, and you on the side of the mat, and you pound on the mat. Like, be aggressive, be aggressive.
N-U-T-S, grab his nuts and twist them.
That is some made up Midwest bullcrap.
Oh my gosh.
Cheerleading.
No, I didn't know you had wrestling. But you come from a wrestling state.
Yeah,
though.
I come from a wrestling state. And man, wrestling is awkward as heck sometimes. It's really like they get all red in the face and sweaty. I don't know. It's just real awkward. I wish I had seen someone crap themselves.
Have you ever almost super daddied yourself in any situation? Or shadoodle?
Shadoodle. One time with bad boba tea in Vegas.
Bad boba tea?
Super daddied. And I haven't had boba tea. And it's like so trendy now, but I haven't had it in 17 years.
Because you almost super daddied your pants?
Almost super daddied my pants.
Oh, that's great.
Shadoodle.
Yeah, I mean, any guy's been.
You've super daddied your pants.
As a kid, for sure. Remember at Toronto, I was standing up to take a leak, and it was like I was well past potty training, but I was like, I was old enough to know, but and I was standing up, and I don't know, let one of those farts out. It came out, and I remember my older brother making fun of me so badly because my mom had to take my underwear, throw it in the trash in a McDonald's. So somewhere to Toronto, just some little kid's underwear,
just shit
everywhere, and a McDonald's bathroom probably smells so bad.
Oh, that's so bad. Do you remember the Howard Stern episode where Colin Jost was on, and he has multiple shitting his pants stories, like as an adult? And
oh, really?
So funny, yeah.
Yeah,
a bunch of times while he was hiking, he'd shit himself.
Yeah, I've come close on a golf course. Like if there wasn't a bathroom close by, it was yeah.
Like after drinking, I think you've had some like near misses.
Yeah, well, it's you could probably look on a chart and looked at where like shitting your pants happened. It is probably Saturday and Sunday mornings for guys.
Yeah.
Because I remember we'd go to Vegas and be in the sports book like Sunday morning. NFL games start earlier.
Oh yeah, so
right?
early.
So it's right around those time where the guys are, they're getting up early, but they're still kind of drunk. Yeah, they make their bets in like the smelliest place on earth is Sunday morning in a sportsbook bathroom. It's everybody is shadoodling all over.
Onto
they're running into. They got their tickets. They're putting their tickets in their pocket that they just bet they're getting to the toilet.
So gross.
Yeah, it's like an airport bathroom. It's like again Vegas airport Sunday morning.
How people can shit in airport bathrooms, but I guess when you have to, you just have to.
Guess what? When your only option is that or 30,000 feet in the air and somebody's in that bathroom. Do you remember that story when the firefly food poisoned all those people and one of our friends was there, but like there was like 30 people at this restaurant in Vegas. They all got food poisoning, and like 30 of them were flying the next day, and some of them were on the same plane, and there was just lines for the bathroom for people throwing up and shit. So like one person had to crap, the other person had to go in there and throw up right after them. And like man,
our like favorite tapas restaurant is what this was for a long time, and then
oof. I don't think it's still around anymore. So
no.
We gave one of our friends. I told you that story. We gave one of our friends X-Lax on spring break in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
did I tell you that?
I forgot about that.
And that was me and this dude. We were just fucking around with this other guy who fucked around with everybody, and we were down in the gift shop of the hotel. And we saw the X-Lax, and Dumb and Dumber. This is like late '90s. We're like, oh, well, yeah. So we take sour mix We pour some of it in there, switch it around, and then we go up and we're like, okay, just we know he's gonna take this drink out of our hand if we go, hey, the girls made this drink, it's so strong, I can't drink it. So we did that, expecting him to be like, give me it, because he was the type of guy that you said, I don't know, this Twinkie tastes bad. Let me, you know what I mean? So right when we did it, this other kid who's like quiet, never would do anything like that. He goes, let me try. He grabbed it and he just took a sip. He's like, this is not bad. And he just downed it all. And I looked at my buddy and I go, oh my God, that wasn't supposed to be for him.
Man.
So, guys, it's still pretty funny that he did that. So we're like, oh, and then we're like expecting 15 minutes later, like, oh man, he's gonna run to the bathroom. No, man, we go to dinner, nothing. I'm like, what in the world? We're like, that's the worst X-Lax, in the world, because
maybe it's expired.
Yeah, maybe it's expired, something like that. So we're at this club and we're dancing and everybody's doing whatever. And then finally this kid comes up to us after about an hour being in the club and he goes, we need to get out of here. We're like, what? He goes, I just took the biggest shit I've ever took in my life in the bathroom. And he like
clogged it, like beyond.
Oh, no, he like sprayed it. Oh, like he couldn't get his pants down fast enough.
Oh, that's so bad.
And yeah, it was really bad. He's like, we need to get out of here. So yeah, we left and we're kids, so we didn't feel bad. But now I feel bad. I'm like, oh man,
at least you didn't crap his pants.
No,
I feel like it could have been a lot worse.
But it was just funny because we think it didn't work, and then he just comes up to a sweaty face. He's like, we need to get out of here. Yeah, he got the walls. Yikes. He got everything.
Mr. Syke, I'm a pranksman.
I don't even do pranks. I don't like pranks. So but it was just for the one kid, the asshole. It wasn't for that.
Yeah.
Should have took it.
Oh no.
So you were talking. I think we were talking about this on the Jim Jeffries episode that never aired.
About OJ.
Giving commentary.
Because
and then
Howard Stern does an OJ impression.
Yeah.
And it's so freaking funny. He'll do drops of OJ being like, I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
He gives commentary on every case, everything that's in the news.
Oh my God.
And it's always him living his best life on a golf course.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious.
When I was dying, everybody wants to know my take on the Murdoch.
I don't know why.
I don't know why they want me.
Because he killed 2 people. I don't see the connection.
I don't see the connection. I mean, he's pretty much flaunting it at this point.
Yeah.
Right?
I don't know. Maybe he has mental illness and thinks he didn't,
I would agree that somebody that
him?
murdered 2 people has mental illness. I would agree with you there. We're on the same page.
Could he have blocked it? Like he was having an episode? I don't know.
Yeah, like he blacked out when he did it or whatever.
Where were you watching OJ's Getaway? Do you remember that?
Yeah. I was at the local bar that I used to work at that was in my hometown. But I was there as a kid. I didn't work there yet.
Oh, I was going to say, God, you're so old.
No. When that happened, I was 15, I think. We were at that bar, and I'm pretty sure we were about to watch the NBA Finals. It was like the Knicks versus the Rockets. Mm-hmm. Excuse me. And they cut away from that to go to the chase. So I remember a lot about them. My grandma, who I was really close with, that was her first reality TV or whatever, and every night she would watch it all day, and then at night she would watch the recap and everything like that. Yeah.
And she thought that he was innocent, right?
Yes. Yeah. She did. She was just the nicest lady in the world. So she couldn't fathom what was the actual stuff happening, stuff like that. But I mean, he did. He said in that Tom was talking about it in like some documentary when he was talking about the guards telling him you're gonna get off, or did he play the video of that? He was talking about like the guards in the prison saying you're gonna get off, and he was like, why?
Yeah.
And he goes, because they have cops on the stand proven to lied, and any jury is gonna be
walking on evidence and all that stuff. Yeah, it was just mismanaged,
and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I mean, that dumb prosecutor literally had him try on the glove that was found at the murder scene, and it didn't fit him.
Yeah.
Like, what are you
They should have
doing?
never allowed that to happen.
Like if you've never seen him try it on, and he puts it on and it fits halfway down his hand.
Yeah.
They should have just stuck with all the DNA and stuff. But,
yeah, man.
Yeah. Do you remember where you were when the verdict was announced? I even remember that.
I remember the getaway really clearly because we were driving. I was little. We were driving to California, my mom, dad, and I.
You were behind him on the highway. Your dad was like, this 405.
This white Bronco is erratic, but he's clearing out traffic. No,
Can you show us how to get to 10? It's the 10.
I'm dead. No, we stopped for the night and we were staying in a hotel room. And I remember like going in and out of sleep and my parents still being up watching it. And it was just like, man, nothing like this. I've never seen anything like this happen before. This is crazy.
Yeah.
And it was a definitive moment for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
When they were young, I think.
What happened?
There
was something else going on that day. I think we'd have to Google to check this out, but I think
it was June 16th, 1994, because I looked it up earlier.
Yeah.
I was trying to see if I was misremembering.
Something was happening.
How old
like
I was.
I think like David Hasselhoff was like supposed to have a giant pay-per-view that night or something like that. Yeah. He was going to launch his like singing career in America because he's really big in Germany.
Oh yeah.
And it was something right around that time, and it like nothing was going on, middle of summer, whatever, and then OJ happened, and like his launch of his singing career just like went down the tubes or something like that because of that.
It was October 3rd, 1995.
October 3rd?
Uh-huh.
No. The verdict, maybe.
The verdict was October 3rd.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the chase. Yeah, the verdict.
Oh,
yeah,
the chase was June 16th, 94.
I was in high school in one of my classes, and I remember one of the teachers came in and he ran in through the door almost like Kennedy was shot. Not guilty, not guilty.
What a mess.
Yeah.
I love that bit from Arrested Development where Ford has phased out the Bronco and gotten the Escape. And George Sr.'s like, Escape, I like that name. He's trying to do a getaway. I don't know. It's a really small bit, but that always made me laugh so hard.
Oh, that's great. What else you got? Anything else?
I just had one more thing. I feel like I might have mentioned this to you before, but this was a sports heavy episode. And I was thinking about, I feel badly for you. I feel not like I hoodwinked you.
Thank you. Stop right there.
Everyone feel bad for Mr. Syke. He doesn't get enough sympathy. When we met and got married, I was conversational in every sport. I knew what was happening in every sport. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't a trick, but it was just something I learned was helpful for making conversation because I worked as a stripper. And
did you trick me?
People travel. No, so every day, just out of habit, I watched Around the Horn and Pardon the Interruption. And you could come and tell me that you were from Pittsburgh, and I'd be like, oh yeah, the new thing they're doing with Steelers management, like that's kind of interesting. Da, 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 da. I could be conversational in whatever sport you liked from whatever city. Just off the cuff, I just knew what was happening all the time. And since we've had kids, like I never watch SportsCenter anymore. I never know what's happening, and I feel so bad about that sometimes. I'm so sorry. We were watching Stanley Cup playoffs the other night, and I was like, oh,
who are the Kraken?
No, Kraken, that's new. Florida has an NHL team. That's weird. It's so odd.
They have two NHL teams?
They have two. I'm like, oh, the Panthers already eliminated the Bruins. That's weird.
Yeah, no, you got other things going on. Don't feel bad for me. I don't need to talk to you about sports.
You don't need me to be your bro.
No, I got enough bros for that.
That's good conversation, though. It was nice to be informed enough to be able to understand everything.
Yeah.
So I'll get it back.
Yeah, that's all right.
Sorry, Mr. Syke.
You tricked me.
Mea culpa.
Yeah. You didn't stop doing the other things, though, and that's the important part.
Still keep it tight, Maddie. Yeah. That's all we care about.
All right, well, good episode. Next week, they all? I haven't been. So last week was Bert and Jim. This week was Tom and Ryan.
Tom
so
and
next week we're going.
I think we're gonna have both bears.
Oh, you know what?
Again.
We saw. You're looking forward to this episode coming up because we saw Kevin Smith talking on another podcast
about how he was in studio with Bert.
He was in studio with Bert doing two bears. So that could be next week,
or it could be in 2 weeks. I'm waiting.
Well, if they're alternating.
Oh, right. I was thinking they were alternating a Bert only episode, a Tom only episode, both bears together, and then guest bear, both bears together.
No, I think those last two with them was because they're separated for a while.
Now maybe it's 4.
I just think they're doing as many as possible.
I hope so.
Yeah, because you're a huge Kevin Smith fan. I love Kevin Smith.
And I'm waiting for Bert to drop some machine merch. His machine hat is so cool that he wears all the time.
We're going to see it
the weekend it comes out.
Opening weekend. All right, cool.
All right.
Good episode. Do not screw up the cameras this time.
What I did was so dumb. I just tried to eject it before stopping the record.
And it screwed the thing all up.
Yeah, it screwed up the way it was written.
All right.
Blurg. All right.
Good episode.
Episode 185. That's
in the books.
Mr. Syke, Maddie. She's going to come up with a jingle, and it's going to be better than this one.
And she'll go topless on Patreon for our Patreon podcast. I just had that in my mind.
Good idea.
All right.
Solid. All right.
Bye. Bye.